people wanna get in the circus, trying hard to keeping up with the Joneses. Everything is kind of trouble and purpose. And you're lying in a bed of roses. I never dreamed of getting in the action. Life moves with all the surprises. I never tell you, feel the good reaction. It comes down to this, you're gonna be a tough act to follow. And you better believe it. Just take a bite and see that it's gonna be too much to swallow. You better believe it. Yeah, I got one more trick, but you're gonna be a tough act to follow. To follow. You're gonna be a tough act to follow. To follow. Oh, I feel I like the way I got up from the start. I was under pressure. I feel I got away. It comes down to this, yeah. You're gonna be a tough act to follow. And you better believe it. Just take a bite and see that it's gonna be too much to swallow. You better believe it. Yeah, I got one more trick, but you're gonna be a tough act to follow. To follow. To follow. Yeah, you're gonna be a tough act to follow. To follow. You're gonna be, ooh.
It feels so good, it feels so good, it feels so good. Oh my, gonna make my move. I'm all in, got nothing to lose. Oh my, gonna shake it off. It ain't no thing, it ain't no thing. Oh my, doing what I want. Gonna do my thing, do my thing. Way up high and take it low. I'm feeling right from head to toe. Light it up and let it roll. Here I go. Are you ready? Ready to go? Are you ready? Ready for more? Are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, you ready? Ready or not, we going, and I can't stop. Are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, oh my. Gonna hit it big. I got my eyes on the prize. Oh my, gonna spin the wheel, cash it in and roll the dice. Oh my, it's a thing of gold. All I do is win, all I do is win. Oh my, no one ever fold. Start it up, let the game begin. Way up high and take it low. I'm feeling right from head to toe. Light it up and let it roll. Here I go. Are you ready? Ready to go, are you ready? Ready for more, are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, are you ready? Ready or not, we going, and I can't stop, are you ready?
if it was just like a...
I ain't no altar boy. I ain't no yes man. No, no. You ain't no God of mine. No, I don't need your blessings to save me. When you thought that I was done, you ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down, yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun burn, feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. I got this storm in my head, a forest fire in my chest. Look at the time on the clock, man, I'm gonna sleep when I'm dead. Whether you're ready or not, I'm rolling in like a train off the tracks, coming at you. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, yeah. Start that fire, yeah. Burn it down, yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun rain. Feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that
Yo! What's up, everyone? Happy Saturday. Patrick, we're here.
Yeah, we are here.
We're here. How you feeling?
Yeah,
How you feeling?
I'm all right. What about you?
Living the dream, man. Living the dream.
Yeah, man, living the dream.
So we had a we were back for a live stream at the end of the year. We did a little fun video lip sync thing. Patrick was so excited about it. And then we had the Christmas break and New Year break, and we are back now. We are back. You're not even paying attention, Patrick. You're like, wait, what did he say? What did he say? Yeah, Patrick's back. He's like, I don't know. Adam's saying some words. Jeez.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Yeah. We're
Hey,
back.
did you get?
We're
So
back.
Thomas said something like, "I need Adrian Dittman for first." Do you know what that means? Is that a sports thing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
All
know.
right. I was just like, maybe I'm missing something, or I don't know. So Toma, the last acceptable day to say New Year's, just like the first thing that comes up. So like saying Happy New Year on this stream is good because it's the first stream we've had in the New Year.
Yeah,
So.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New
Adam.
Year, everyone. Oh, okay, Toma. I did not get the reference. I was like, I'll pay attention to that. All right. What's going on? I gotta remember how to do all this. First up, so we're gonna be. It's a new year, and so there's conferences coming up, and we're gonna be traveling a little bit. The one thing, so first week of February, we're gonna be at Fabric February in Oslo, Norway. It's gonna be amazing. We're doing a pre-con there. I think there's still a few seats left if you're in the area. Want to come?
I think.
We're gonna be doing like an intro to Fabric course, Patrick has been working hard on getting some cool demos going. So
That's
we'll
what
definitely.
I was doing. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, I know. So we'll definitely we'll have fun over there, and then hey Matthew, Matthew, you should go, Matthew. Why aren't you going?
You should come.
Yeah. It's So and then end of March going into April, we're gonna be at FabCon Vegas. So it's gonna be great. So definitely register to be with us there. It'll be amazing. We want to see you there. When you do register, be sure to use Cube200, the discount code. You'll get 200 off the registration. So that'll definitely help you out. Yeah, I get it, Matthew. That's all right.
And doing a workshop, diving deep into direct
Yeah,
link.
Patrick's doing
Check
one.
that
I'm
out.
not doing one. So yeah.
Gotta come check it out. There's
Yeah,
some seats left.
it's gonna be
There's
great.
some seats left. You gotta come. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So hope to see you there. It'll be amazing. And then Laura's gonna be at Fabric February. Did I read that?
Oh, right,
Hang
Laura.
on. Yeah. You're gonna have fun, Laura. It's gonna be good. They have a lot of snacks.
Yeah.
It's great.
Lots of snacks.
Yes. All right. What else? What? You were gonna say something?
Laura's doing a workshop.
Oh, she's doing a workshop too.
Are there seats? If there's seats,
that's
go
the
check it out.
one of the post cons, right? Because there's only one pre-con. Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Powers coming in. Member for 58
Powers.
months. Wow.
Go sports, man.
It's a long
Gonna be some
time.
great sports
Dress
today.
warm, go sports today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Robin, like the snacks, like last year was the first Fabric February. It was off the. It was so good.
Magical snacks.
It was
there
so
were
good.
slushies. They had slushies in a very cold place, but they were delicious.
Yeah. Well, and they had the colors, right? They had green for Fabric, yellow for, it was like an orange one for
that
Power
was
BI,
good.
and then they had blue one for Azure. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was great.
And then so I'm gonna say this wrong, I know, but it was the student role, or like I came up with a different name, or it was like a teacher role or student role, or remember it was like the cinnamon bun with something on it, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't remember what that was
thing
called. It was I
amazing.
kept calling, I think I called it student role, but it was something else, but it was good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, school
It was like a
roll.
pastry
Was it
thing.
school roll?
School role, student role.
It was
I don't know.
good.
I don't know. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. All right. So shout out to all the members of GynaCube. We appreciate you and thank you for doing what you do. So if you see folks with a
School
green
roles.
name, school role. Okay, yeah. So I called it student roles, I think. So if you see folks with a green name or the GynaCube icon next to their name, those are members of GynaCube. So shout out to all y'all. I don't know if this is working, but I'll put it in there. If you want to learn more about becoming a member, check out the link on the screen or hit the join button down below to learn more. No commitment required. Just thank you for checking it out. And members, hold your questions for the second half, depending on how it goes. So, all right. All right, rules. We have rules here on GynaCube. So rule number 1, please put Q: in front of your question. So if you want to get it answered, then you got to put the Q: in. One time is all you need. I will be putting it in the queue. Yes, I said I will be doing this. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I'm going solo today, man. So
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, definitely get it in. One time's all you need. If we do have a 3 strikes rule here on GynaCube, so do not spam the chat. So if you do, after 3 times, someone will put you in a timeout. So please do not do that. And then also members, again, hold your questions until the second half or when I give you the green light to go. So, all right. Patrick, are you ready?
Yeah. I'm just reading some of the questions.
I know. We have questions. Let's see here. All right. Data is king. First question in. Q: not Q:. Yeah. Well, anything with a colon is going to be weird. All right. Data is king. So I have a data set containing data from a Dataverse table. It's a lot of datas. in the Power BI service that won't refresh in my paginated report when changes are made in the underlying table. The flow won't refresh it either. I have questions. So, like, is the paginated report and the Power Automate, the Power Automate flow, are those pointed to the model? Is it an imported model? Like, do we know that the data is reflected in the model? Like, I have questions around that. I don't necessarily understand the connection.
Yeah. So because if it's a semantic model that you're connecting to and you're importing in that semantic model, you got to schedule a refresh of that semantic model. And then when you run your report, it should reflect whatever data is in that semantic model. If that's not happening, no bueno. Right? It's not going to work.
All right. So Data is King says import model, and paginated report is going against the model. And we know that the updated data is reflected in the model, but not showing in the paginated report. Is that what's going on?
Have we checked the model?
Bump up your
My
volume.
audio is low, Adam. Everybody's saying
Sounded
my audio
okay to
is
me.
really low.
I don't know. Laura, I know that there's no semantic model required, but I'm trying to understand the scenario that Data is King is doing. So that's my thing is, did the semantic model get updated, or are we just looking at the Dataverse table? So if the semantic model has not been refreshed and it's not reflected in the model, paginated report's only going to show what's in the model. So
go to your semantic model.
Yeah.
Just go to it in Power BI, say create a report, start dragging and verify that the data's there. If the data's not there, you need to do some refreshing of that semantic model.
I have to publish it manually each time for new updates to come in. So is the refresh failing, or it succeeds, but a refresh doesn't actually pick up the data?
I think he's importing the data, republishing the PBIX file, and no refresh is happening in the service.
Well, we have to refresh it in the service.
Yeah, I think
to get
that's
the new
problem.
data. Yeah. So I got a lot of questions around that. Like, I don't understand the scenario. So
I like Alex's point though. So instead of doing all that, just write a SQL statement and connect.
For the paginating report, yeah. So I will say I will add some thoughts here on my own. I do know, like, when you're querying Dataverse, there are potential cost factors that are in there. So I could see where, like, importing it into the model, you don't want people just hitting Dataverse directly just to limit, like, the number of queries hitting it and the cost and all that.
I didn't know that. It's like Snowflake.
So that would be one reason for why you would maybe want to do that. So, all right, people are saying Patrick's volume is low. Other people are saying it's fine. I have no idea. I think it's just as he gets excited and talks louder, and then, less excited.
Maybe I need to talk louder.
Sure. Troubleshooting the refresh setup will help look for any failure. Well, so I mean, okay. So Data's King said, I have to use Dataverse because its Power App for Teams uses. No, I get that. Data is King. But what we're saying is, from the semantic model perspective, have we validated that the data is updated there? Refresh should pull in the latest data. So, like, we need to validate that. So, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
I don't know.
Okay. So let's do that. P. Kumar. How to export hierarchical matrix visual data into Excel CSV without using the ellipses on the visual option in the Power BI service. Is there any option to export via Power Automate? Yes, there is.
Yeah. Write a DAX query.
Well, okay, that's not so. But you can actually there are export APIs that you can do. And you can trigger that from Power Automate as well. So 100%, you can do that.
And you have to write the DAX query to match what's going in the matrix. So you pull exactly what you want out of the matrix.
Yeah, the matrix.
Yeah.
Just plug into the matrix.
Laura did a video. Laura, put your...
There you go. Yeah. So, actually, you know what? Hang on, Laura. Hang on, Laura. All right, Laura, you can drop the video link if you want. All right. Where is Scott? I'm assuming that's Scott Siebel for the Dataverse thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, I mean, I'll take a step back though also, like, why do you want to do that? Like, I know, like, everyone just creates a Power BI report just to export it to Excel, but why not, like, use Power BI? Why are we exporting it? Scott, you're here, man. Scott Stauffer. Hello. All right. Let's go. Prachi. How can we pass a dynamic link of 500 CDC enabled tables to event stream when it becomes publicly available?
I haven't tried it. I know what they're talking about. I haven't tried it.
CDC.
It's so when you have the CDC tables, you can enable CDC on the source, and with event stream you can pick up CDC. Haven't tried it. I wrote it down though. I did write it down, and I'll take a look. I don't know.
Yeah.
We haven't tried it yet.
Thomas, I know it's change data capture.
Oh yeah, change data capture. Yeah, change data capture. Yeah. Sorry.
Others might not know that it was change data capture, but
yes.
So thank you.
Yeah,
for that.
I got to go take a look at it, Prachi. I haven't looked at it.
All right. There you go, Patrick. You got an idea. Did you write it down?
Yeah, I did. I wrote it down. Yeah.
All right. Cool. And thank you, Laura, for dropping the link. Yes, you did beat Alex. I saw it. I got it. I'm gonna take a screenshot. Hang on. Take a screenshot.
Is Alex slowing down as he matures?
No, he's just waking. It's a new year, man. He's waking up. So give him some time, man. He's got it. All right. So remember, get your questions in. Q:. Chores.
Yeah, I don't think any of us matures, right?
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, Christina, that's a good one. Yeah.
I'm like a fine wine. I get better with age.
You're okay, Alex. Okay, Alex.
I'm rusty. We need more live streams. There you go.
Yeah. It's not your fault.
Yeah. All right, Mohammed. Why is it that when you count rows in a visual, it is not counting what you actually see, rather it's counting what's in the table powering the visual, e.g., or for example, you get 2 when only 1 row. So this has to do with evaluation context from a DAX perspective of when the measure is run. So Patrick, this is the idea that your totals may not add up with what's actually there because it's the context of how it's executing and the filters that are applied in the context of when that execution is run. So you need to make sure you're accounting for that.
If this is
what?
Keep going.
Well, so I was gonna say, like, so for example, if you have a DAX statement, say like, oh, you want to, it doesn't add up visually what's there. It adds up like what's actually in the data. And then
Alex said it.
Yeah, I know.
Are you using implicit measures?
Yeah.
Are you using implicit measures, Muhammad? Implicit with a little sum next to it. If you're using those, don't use those. Write a measure.
Yeah.
Write a measure.
Yeah.
Explicit. Write some DAX.
Do a measure. So, but the other thing too is, let's say you're doing a DAX measure and you think it's just going to sum up and the value is going to add it. But in your DAX measure, you are like changing the filter to be like, oh, just do all of it instead of taking into account the filter of the visual. And so now your number is going to be different. So you have to understand what it is. Yes, ban all implicit. I agree. Always use explicit.
I'm not saying that.
You said it in a video somewhere.
I know I did.
So yeah, it's all about evaluation context. I will say though, from a DAX perspective, evaluation context, that's the hardest thing to wrap your head around.
Okay. So Mohammed, you got to go to SQL BI and search on their site. They have a blog post, Marco and Alberto, that talks about those row totals being different. And they use iterative functions sometime, like SumX and CountX and things to solve that. But you got to go read that blog. I won't be able to find it. Alex may be able to find it. But they have a blog talking about this exact problem, article talking about this exact problem and how to solve it. They do.
Yeah.
They do. Let me see. I'm going to go look.
So yeah, so chances are.
Look at that. Alex already found it.
There you go. Alex is back. Alex is back. Yeah.
It's not hard to beat me.
It's not that rusty. Nope. That's funny. My guess is like we'd have to see the measure and to know like you're doing something in there that's not accounting for whatever the filter context is. So, but yeah, evaluation context is the hardest thing. Once you get your head wrapped around that, it's actually not bad. Like you can figure stuff out. So, all right. Okie dokie. Let's do those. All right, Loretta. Ooh, hello. I have a model that takes a long time to refresh. Will a more powerful computer shorten the refresh? Yes, scale up the premium capacity. Just get a bigger one.
Wait.
Throw hardware at it. Always. Throw money and hardware at it. Go. Microsoft will take your money.
Loretta, are you refreshing locally on your machine? Are you talking about refreshing locally on your machine or in the service? Which one are you talking about?
Oh my gosh. So hardware may help, but so I'm going to put this in the context of, well, so ultimately, like you probably should look at optimizing the model first. Like there's a lot of factors that go into that, but I would go into optimization before you start throwing money or hardware at it. It's local.
Thank you. So it's local.
So I did a video a while back on like what kind of hardware you need for running like Power BI desktop. It's an older video, but it checks out. But basically in that video, like you should have like minimum, you should have 16 gigs of RAM on your machine. Like I honestly say 32.
32.
All of my machines, I always have a minimum of 64 gigs. Not that you need that, but
it depends. It depends.
It depends.
Thank you.
But if you have 8 gigs of RAM, like that's probably your first bottleneck. That and it's maybe also an older machine too. So, so I don't know how much RAM you have on the machine locally.
First step, go search on the web. You can go look at our YouTubes, Alberto and Marco. Lots of people.
Scott got the reference. I love it.
Definitely, first optimize your model before you go spend money on other.
The one exception I have to that is if you have 8 gigs of RAM, that's not enough. Go get more RAM.
Okay, sure.
You need more RAM.
Sure.
Than 8. 8 is bad.
But but definitely look at optimizing your model. You know, removing high cardinality columns.
Yes.
Removing unnecessary columns, filtering vertically and horizontally. You know, building a star schema.
Like if your whole model is just like calculated columns, like that's just gonna
calculated columns.
That's gonna blow.
Yep.
So
go check it out.
All right, Loretta, you have 64 gig of RAM.
Yeah. So optimize your model.
Yeah, optimize your model.
Optimize your model. Yeah. Optimize your model. You need to start by optimizing your model. Before you publish it to the service, optimize your model.
Yes. Summarize it possible. What? All right. Yes, user. I was going to say that. Like, you got an ugly baby. Like,
I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't saying that.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So, hopefully that gets you going in the right direction, Loretta. All right. Let's go to I want to set up incremental refresh with Impala connector. But
I don't know what that is.
So it's Impala's a data source. But when I try to set it up, it doesn't work. View native query option is disabled. So incremental refresh works with Impala. So I would have to look it up if the Impala connector. So first off, your data source, your connector has to support query folding, which I want to say the Impala connector supports query folding. But there's other things in there too. So the table you're trying to turn on incremental refresh, the power query that you have, did you maybe break query folding as part of that? So yeah, and to Alex's point, the view native query being gray, that's not a true false indicator. Like, I did a video on that a while back too, but where we talk about that a lot. That could be a false positive in terms of query folding not working. Yes, Impala is a car. Yes. So yeah, you need to look at is folding actually happening. So one thing you could do is just like data flows in the service, copy the query, the Power Query query into data flows, and you'll have the folding indicators there to see if that works. You may have to go through a gateway to leverage the Impala one, but yeah, that is something to look at. So ultimately, it's got to fold. Don't break the fold, as Alex would say. All right, Chris. I have data flows saving to a lakehouse. Excellent. Data written to the table isn't immediately available. This is a problem for chaining data flow refreshes with pipelines when they reference the data. What's the fix? Fix it, Patrick. Hit the easy button.
There's so many things. There's so many things right here. The problem for changing data flow. Simplify your process.
So Mark Price Mayer, Alex said something. They said metadata sync.
The sync part, the metadata sync. Yeah. There's something out there somewhere to do it, but still, I mean, you have to call it, and it's still going to be some latency. How fast do you want this to happen, right?
Yeah. Mark said Mark's got a blog on it. There you go. Delays.
There you go.
Go check out that blog. Mark for the win.
And let me copy this. Let me get this link. Let me get this link.
There you go.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. So there's a specific question for you, Patrick. So I'm not going to answer this one. I'm curious to know if it's possible to dynamically send subscriptions in a paginated report without parameters.
Subscription dynamically, but
the whole point of dynamic data, the whole point of dynamic data subscription is you leveraging parameters to do it. So that part it's no longer dynamic.
Yeah. So do a standard subscription.
Alex was saying the same thing. It's like, what would be the dynamic part then?
No, it's true statement. What's the dynamic part? And just use a standard subscription.
Just use a regular subscription.
Dynamically send subscription without parameters. Dynamically send subscriptions. Because how would you? Yeah. Oh, maybe they want to know, can you do it without a parameter? No, you can't. You need the parameter is what makes it dynamic.
Yeah, but that's the point. It's like, why just use a regular? Yeah. Hey, Darius, you're a member now. Hold your questions, man. We're almost there. All right, Sahil. Will the model.bim file in JSON format replaced with Timdal after it goes GA? And what will happen to models in Azure AS? How will they migrate with the same format? With JSON format is as easy Azure AS to Power BI models. So you can still use the old formats will still work. So like when you publish those, like, yes, that will happen. So if you're migrating from Azure AS to Power BI, you could still execute and run like the old formats. How do you get, because I'm assuming the Timdal thing is based on the compatibility level of the model. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, it is. That's a true,
I gotta believe
that's a true statement.
Yeah, I gotta believe that's it. So, and then, So I guess like if you're just coming at it from the Azure AS side to Power BI, you don't necessarily have to worry about it. Like the old one will still work, so it's still backwards compatible on that front. And I would love to see you migrate Azure AS to Power BI. So that shouldn't be a problem. So hopefully that answers your question.
Be a problem.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Is it possible to create measures in Visual Studio? Technically, yes.
Yeah, technically, yes.
If you're using like an analysis services project in Visual Studio, but that won't have full feature parity of what's available in Power BI. So be aware of that.
Why do you want to use Visual Studio? Just curious.
Yeah. Because they don't want tabular editor. They want to use a Microsoft tool. Yeah.
Maybe because it's approved. It's an approved development environment, and they can't get tablet editor or anything else. Yeah. But I'm sure you can. Now, how would you do it?
What do you mean? How would you do it?
I guess you connect to the endpoint and just do it. Yeah, you could. You can. I do
it with Notepad.
Oh God. Okay. Anyway, move on.
All right. Here we go. What's the suggested approach to dynamic connection parameters for Fabric Warehouse to work between dev, test, and prod workspaces? We're using GitHub. Dynamic connection parameters for Fabric. So, I have to go back and verify if this works. But one thing, like, in terms of what's connecting to like the model, like we're using Direct Lake or whatever against Warehouse or against, OneLake. Like if we're using deployment pipelines, that there's a way in deployment pipelines where you can trigger like the data source settings as part of the pipelines. What I haven't done is verify like each parts of those actually work right now. I know there's some updates that are there. All right, and Alex is saying in Fabric, you can reference the GUIDs for dynamic connections. That's good. Assuming we're talking about maybe some ELT. Yeah. So which part of the connection are you referencing? Is it from Power BI to the warehouse, or is it warehouse to the source where it's getting the data? So, yeah. So that would be a thing. And then like, is it dynamic connections from a pipeline perspective or so? All right. Let's see here. Yeah, data pipeline to warehouse. Okay, cool. Yeah, and so Alex is saying you can reference the GUIDs. And then, so the question is in the GitHub, like when it goes through, like you've got to.
But the question is changing the connection string, though, right?
Well, it's the dynamic connection.
Go back to the question.
So you have a dynamic connection parameter from a pipeline perspective.
What's the suggestion?
And so Alex is saying you can reference the GUID for the dynamic connection. And so when we're looking at it from a GitHub perspective, it's like, how do we do that from a code perspective, going from dev test to prod? When you're pushing and merging those changes, how do you update that effectively?
That's a good question.
Yeah. You said the dynamic connection doesn't currently work. I'd have to, like, what about it? Like, are you getting an error? Is there something specifically wrong? I need more details.
I love the name, major disorder.
Yeah. So
what's the suggested approach?
Yeah. Let me go back. We should do a video on that.
Yeah.
That's a good video idea. I do need more detail. When you're saying like the dynamic connection doesn't work, is it doesn't work because of the dev test prod or something else? So yeah. All right. We'll look at doing a video on that major disorder. So stay tuned on that. For the workspace and pass it to the following steps. Interesting, Kevin. So he says connection is established to the warehouse, but tables and store procedures are not found. That's interesting.
See, this is something different. I think this is different than what we're thinking.
Yeah.
I think there's more to this than just
I need more
passing the
details.
GUID around.
So either way, I'll look at doing a video in terms of dev test prod on that, because I think it's an interesting scenario. But we'll see. All right. We're at the halfway part, so I'm going to clear the queue. Members, you can now go ahead and get your questions in. We're going to go over to members only mode. Members only mode is where members and moderators can participate in the chat. Everyone else can watch the chat, but you won't be able to, or you can watch the stream. You can watch the chat too, but you can't type in the chat. One thing to note, if you do have a burning question and we didn't get to it, just be sure you can do a super chat that bumps prior, like that. That will be the next question. But if you do a super chat with the purpose of getting a question answered, make sure you type the question in the super chat before you submit it. Otherwise, you're just sending a super chat, and thank you for that too. If you want to learn more about becoming a member, you can check out the join button down below, or I put a link in the chat. So it'll tell you more about it. No commitment required. Just thank you for checking it out. And with that, let's go ahead and go to members only. And if we run out of questions on the member only side, we'll cut back to open chat. So we'll see. All right, members, get your questions in. I know, who was it? Darius had questions in there. So I'm going to go back because Darius hadn't resubmitted it, so I will just go pick the original question he did way back before the stream started. So Darius asked, and Chris, thank you for becoming a member. So Darius asked, will Fabric offer an integrated, low-code and managed means of synchronizing Lakehouse data back into an Azure SQL database, similar to Azure SQL database sync into Fabric, so like mirroring, but in the opposite direction?
Yeah.
I have a couple thoughts. First off, why? So my initial thoughts on that are like you want my first thoughts are typically your Azure SQL database is going to be used as a transactional database, not like an analytical data mart of sorts. And so that's what you're using the Lakehouse for, more than likely. And so why would you want to go back the other way? The other question, though, is why go to Azure SQL database? Just go to Fabric database. Like, we got Fabric databases now. So, but there's nothing I've heard about like mirror going the opposite direction. So, I'm not aware of anything like that. So, any other thoughts, Patrick?
Nope. We chatted about this already. Those are good points.
Well, you and I chatted about it, sure.
Yeah. No, but I mean, your points are good points. It's valid points. I thought the copy activity doesn't support Lakehouse as a source.
Yeah.
So the copy item doesn't support, remember I was looking at that. It doesn't support Lakehouse as a source. So.
Yeah. So, yep. Yeah. And Alex, thanks for dropping the ideas link. Love it. Someone else taking advantage of the bot. So it's interesting. I'd love to know your scenario around like why you're doing that.
Would like to avoid writing up and dealing with ADF. Yeah, I get it, Darius, but I just don't think there's a way right now. I can't think of a low code approach that would do the automatic synchronization back to Azure SQL, because the copy item job will be the thing. Besides mirroring, if we came up with mirroring, the copy item job would be the thing that I would use, because it just automatically, does the inserts and updates back. It doesn't handle deletes yet, but it would be the closest thing. But you can't use Lakehouse as a source. So, I like Matthew's question too. What problem are you trying to solve?
Yeah. There's that. Also, I like Mark's comment too about would an external table in Azure SQL DB work? That might, but so that way you're basically treating it as a table within Azure SQL database, even though it's still living in the Lakehouse. So that, and
then you just do copy, into. Yeah.
But again, Matthew's point, absolutely. What are you trying to solve? It's so, and trying to avoid. What did he say? So he said. What did he say? He's trying to avoid wiring up and dealing with Azure Data Factory.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So you have to do all the watermarking to try to incrementally get the data.
Yeah.
No, I get that part.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right. Cool. All right. User 4, or so, sorry, Alex did a super chat. He's trolling. So Alex said, favorite Fabric feature and why is it AI skills? I will say and like they have the docs on AI skills, I think it actually has a cool thing of like, why is it different from Copilot? And like Copilot's amazing. Everyone should use Copilot, but the AI skills, you basically get to craft your own, and you can control your own almost LLM with inside, and it's hosted in Fabric, but then leverage that outside of Fabric. So like Copilot Studio and Teams and all these other places. And so you can enable where Fabric is the data backing your LLM and then expose that out, and you can adjust the queries and adjust questions, things of that nature. It's very, very cool. So I'm starting to have conversations with customers about this, and like they're just not aware of it, right? Like in terms of options available, and so it's very cool. So yes, yeah, Copilot Studio is cool. So, but just that idea of bringing it back into Teams.
You didn't answer your question. What's your favorite?
No, I think the point is it's AI skills. So yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I know what Patrick's favorite feature is.
What is it?
It's the persona switcher that's going away. He's so sad. So sad.
I can't pick. There's so many, working on this project that I've been working on. I've used so many things in Fabric. It's frustrating because there's so many ways you can do things and there's so many possibilities. And, but I'm going to say something that I think Adam's not going to believe, and he's not going to believe I'm saying this. But the Copilot in Notebooks has saved the day over the past 3 weeks several times. I just like fix my Python for me. Like I write the Python and I get this error and I'm like, fix it for me, and it fixes it.
That is not what Patrick says. He doesn't say fix my Python. He says write my Python.
I do not. When you see the Python in Oslo, you're gonna be like, yeah, he wrote this Python.
Yeah. Write my Python in Patrick style so no one knows it's you. Yeah.
You're gonna be like, yeah, Patrick wrote that Python.
Yeah. So Robin had a comment. So is now when I'm contractually obligated to complain about the F64 rule. So that means like you can't use Copilot. It has to be F64 or above, or a P1 and above. I seem to do it in every chat since forever now. So I appreciate that. But honestly, the thing is, it's the CU consumption. I will say if you go below F64, you're going to churn out. You could churn out that capacity if you're using Copilot. So it's not. I know they dropped the price of it, but it still consumes the compute on the capacity, and so some of that I think is an experience issue. And this is just me talking from my opinion, but I think some of that's an experience perspective that it could be a very bad experience if you go below an F64. So. Yeah.
Gaston. That was a good statement by Adam Gaston. That was a good one. He's right.
Which one? Oh, in the right Patrick.
Python.
Yeah, in Patrick style.
It's rough, man.
Patrick style.
It is rough. It is rough.
Yeah.
It is rough. Yeah. But it's an evolution. Yeah. It's an evolution of Python. I think
everyone knows Copilot's expensive. AI is expensive right now.
Hey, wait, Copilot's expensive? It's expensive?
Yeah. All right, Patrick doesn't care. He runs it on Microsoft's dime. He doesn't care. Welcome to the real world, Patrick.
I've been using it a lot.
Yeah.
Dates. I tell you, working with dates in Python is the worst. Working with dates in Python is the worst thing ever. SQL, dates are easy. Python, oh my God, working with dates is awful.
Okay.
Anyway, right. So I'll tell you how I really feel about it.
Yeah. All right. User 457. Have any of you guys used Measure Killer for Power BI? And if so, what are your thoughts? I have. I've seen it, and I've looked at it. I've used it a little bit. The thing that I liked about it, like it's more like the name. First off, I think the name of it is awful because it makes you think that it's meant for one thing, and it's really not. Like you can actually use this somewhat for administrative tasks in Power BI or in Fabric. So like, for example, it could go through and figure out like where are all the custom visuals that you're using, like, cause it goes through and just like inventories stuff, which is cool. So yeah, it's a very cool tool. Yeah. So yeah, Robin said to use the free version all the time. It's okay, Robin.
I'm not reading that.
Patrick was like, I was like, well.
I know,
but no,
a Chewy. Yes, you got to use that date format in Python. That's the only date format you should use. Don't use any other date format.
Don't be American.
Don't use it.
Is what I'm hearing.
No, do not forget American date formats. Use that date format, whatever that is, whatever that date format. Use that one.
It's everywhere else in the world.
Jeez,
Yeah.
use that one. That is so confusing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Robin, thank you. Gift him 5 memberships. She's trying to make up. Look, I'm not cheap. It's so nice. That's so nice, Robin. Thank you so much.
That was where you go.
My gosh. Oh, that's amazing. Appreciate it, Robin. So, Ike, Kachi, Edgar, Hey, and Eric.
Congratulations.
Thank Robin for giving you a membership.
Thank Robin.
Yeah. So if any of y'all have questions you want answered, get them in the queue. You can do it now. It's for 1 month, Fernando. Yeah. So that's funny. That's funny. Robin. All right. Speaking of Robin, next up is Robin's question. A strange question here. We're working with a time calc group and are passing measures that sometimes have a symbol in them instead of a number. Ooh. Works fine when just using the measure. Wait, what? Oh, so it doesn't work when we're doing the calc group, but it works if we just use the measure outright.
I think there's more.
No, I don't know.
I think she posted more.
Ugh. All right. Hang on.
There are parts 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, geez.
I saw them coming.
Oh, there
through.
we go. All right, I got it. All right, part 2.
Yeah.
But found that the calc group. This is why when I run the queue, it's chaos. But found that the calc group will look at the dynamic connection string. What? Instead of the format string, unless we put in specific handling. Dynamic connection string. What does that have to do with the calc group? To stop it from doing so. Hang on. There's actually
dynamic
4
format
parts.
string. Dynamic format string, maybe not connection string.
Well,
Robin, what is?
She said instead of format string.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know what dynamic.
Oh, she said
connection
correct.
string is.
All right. So dynamic format
Dynamic
string
format.
instead of the static format string.
Yeah.
All right. And then part 3, we were getting really weird errors with trying to convert the dynamic format string from the visual title to numeric. And then part 4, is this a real error that I should bug report on, or am I missing some weird aspect of calculation groups? All right, Robin, I have no idea. Can you send us a PBIX with that?
Yes. Do you have a PBIX?
Send us an
Can you
example.
Please send us a PBIX.
Like we can look at
Yes.
it, but wow.
Toma said send select measure format string, and that selected measure format string, that is an idea. But if we can get a PBIX file to test it,
Send us an example of this. We need an example, please. We need to see that. User like,
Yes,
wow, what
please.
are you doing? I mean, we're trying to use
And
calc
then we'll get it
groups
fixed.
and dynamic format
We'll get it
strings
fixed.
with that, which is common.
we'll make a video.
Yeah.
We'll make a video about it. And if we can't, we'll get Zoe to look at it. Zoe can fix it.
Yeah. So let us know. Let us know. All right, Donald coming in with a super chat. Thank you, Donald. Very much appreciated. All right. Favorite other for learning relational databases? Mine is CGA Date. 2025 is 50-year anniversary of his first book on relational database. Favorite author. Bob Ward. So SQL Skills, Paul Randall, Kimberly Tripp, like they're amazing. I know that I think they've written books. I don't. I'll be honest. I don't read books a lot. So
I don't read books.
I watch videos. Used to read blog posts, but then videos came out. But yeah, I love all the stuff from SQL Skills. They were amazing. Kimball's more data warehousing.
Brent's
he's asking.
good too.
Brent's good, but I don't know that Brent's written a book. So, but Brent Ozar is amazing on performance and just all things SQL. And then
relational database.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Robin. Yeah, send it.
There's a lot of MVPs that have written a lot of. So I forget the last name, but was it? Who's the? Itzhak Bing.
Itzhak Bing Gun?
Yeah.
But he writes the SQL books. He writes all the SQL books. It's not.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, but it's not like. But he's not talking about databases themselves, relational databases.
Oh.
He's just talking about SQL itself. He's talking about
I focused
t-SQL.
on the SQL stuff. So.
You know what? Me.
Oh, Patrick wrote a book.
I'm your favorite. Me. Me.
Is that what Alex just dropped? Hang on. Alex just dropped a link. Hang on.
Me.
Where is it? Go to the site.
Thank you, Alex.
Yes.
Thank you, Alex.
Yes. Hang on.
There you go.
Hang on.
Me.
That's funny. Yes, this is
Thank you,
Patrick's
Alex.
favorite author. There you go.
Thank you.
He makes a living off the commissions on that book.
Look at that. 4.6 stars, man. Me.
It's kind of a big deal.
I forgot.
I forgot. Alex.
Thanks, Alex. I forgot. Me.
Only
your
SQL
favorite
book you will
author.
ever need. Oh my Lord. Wow. I think I need to go full screen on Patrick. His head is, I feel his head is growing. Thank you for that. And thank you, Donald, for spurning that conversation.
Hey. To be fair, that's the only book I wrote by myself, but I co-authored four other books. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should write a book.
No, we're not writing a book.
Wrote one
What's
book
the
and went out
star?
on
Let's
top.
see what I gotta go see what the 1-star comment is.
Yeah, what is
there's
that
no
1-star?
1-star.
No one
I don't.
star?
There's no
Hang
1-star.
on. I want
I got
everyone
a
in the
2-star.
chat go put a 1-star review on that book.
This person was looking for detailed instructions for security and other topics, but I was disappointed. Not enough details. That's all right.
Because 1 star is the best star, right? 1 is good, 5 is bad. So go put a 1-star review in there. This information
really
seems
outdated,
really.
Robin.
It says SQL 2020.
It's really
No, she's saying if that's a comment, like put that comment in there. It's really outdated. Oh my god.
The behind the scenes story, true life
Lord.
story, guy in the cube.
Oh Lord. Okay. All right. Thank you, Donald, for the super chat. Oh my gosh. All right, Chris has a question. I love Fabric. So do we. Thank you. But I see repeating transient issues when refreshes fail for no reason. For example, how are you feeling about its stability compared to other systems? There's a lot of reasons why something can fail and a refresh can fail. So, I mean, that was true in Power BI as well. Sometimes there are things. It is a cloud service, and sometimes it's just not. It doesn't go through. So I'd love to know specifically what you see. I mean, you're saying for no reason, but typically there is a reason why it failed. In general, I think the stability of Fabric is good.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
So I've been working on a project since after Thanksgiving that Adam and I are going to use in Oslo, and then I'm going out to Germany and I'm going to present it in Germany. It's a workshop working on, and I'm tired of using AdventureWorks and Contoso, so I've been scraping some data, and we're going to finally prove whose videos people really watch. I've been scraping our YouTube data, and we're going to build some reports and stuff on it. And I will say,
that's where we need to show the video, Patrick, that we're going to make.
Okay.
That'll be the coup de grace.
My jobs have been running. I have some Python notebooks, some pipelines. I haven't gotten any data flows. That's actually Adam's job, and he's slacking a little bit, but he'll get to it. I know he's really busy managing the live stream. See, he doesn't even know what he's doing, but it's been working. It's absolutely been working.
Send me an email on that.
I've got a couple of errors on my pipelines failing, and I use that monitoring hub, and it gives me some really good. I'm surprised. I am a Microsoft employee, but I will say this: I'm surprised at how explicit the errors are that I've been getting, and I'm able to quickly go and resolve those errors. So, is it the stability compared to other systems? I say, yeah, it's pretty stable. I haven't ran into anything that makes me want to walk away and go use SSIS or SQL on-prem. So it's still working, and it's doing a pretty good job.
Pretty good or good?
No, it's doing a pretty good job. Not just good, it's doing a pretty good job. It's doing it's doing a pretty good job. It's doing a pretty good job. I'm excited about it. I'm excited. There's some nuances, right? There's some things that I wish, I've been going down these rabbit holes on, and that's why the project's not finished. There's some things that I wish were there that's
Chris
not there.
Chris had a part two. So he said, the other day, I had about 4 data flows that failed for 2 days and then started working again. We couldn't connect to our lake house. Then everything started working with no changes. I mean, if you want an answer for what actually happened, I'd say open up a support case. Obviously, it started working again, so you probably don't care at this point. But I get the concern that you have on that. Yes. Like, look, if it just randomly stops for a few days in production, that's a problem. Alex is saying, was it the lake house that was having an issue, or like in the failure itself though? Because he's saying like the failure happened for no reason, but like what were the actual details of the failure? If it didn't give you an answer at all, it'll give you at least an activity ID, and then we go figure out like. But that's when you have to call support to figure out what's actually underlying. Yeah. And I do say like that goes to feedback of more detailed error messages that help you figure it out without having to call support. 100% agree on that.
Yeah. But to this point that he's making, this does make you question the stability of the product, right? This will. I'm not disagreeing with you, Chris. This can make you question the stability. Yeah. Like, wait, what happened? Why did this stop? But to Adam's point, get the activity ID, call support, and let's try to figure out what it is.
Yeah, and like, is it? So Chris was asking, is it normal and expected? I'm like, obviously no. Like, we don't want it to fail, but I don't know why it failed. So I can't really speak to is that normal and expected. I don't know why it failed. So it could have been a service-related issue. It could have been with something you were trying to do. Maybe something wasn't available. There's a lot of reasons. Wow.
Thanks, Donald. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Donald. All right.
I'll see you at FabCon so I can sign it. Be sure there's going to be a line. There's
going to be a book signing. And it's just Donald in the line. It's the only one there. Oh, boy. Whew.
Oh, my God.
All right. That's funny. Just wait for that royalty check, Patrick. Donald did it. You're set. That's your one for the month. People still buy the book though, which is interesting.
Really? I'm telling you, people still buy the book.
I mean, Donald did it to just support. So like that's outstanding.
Seriously, in December, I got a $23 royalty check for that book. In December, $23.
$23. People are buying it. I'm like, I don't. It's interesting. It's interesting.
$23. I did.
No royalty on a used book. Oh no.
No.
That's all right. Donald did the super chat, so that's the royalty.
It is good enough for basics. It is good enough for the basics.
Sure,
it is.
sure,
it is.
sure.
It really is good enough for the basics.
All right, let's go to Tom's question. Got a few minutes left. If I have a requirement to use Snowflake as a data source with Power BI, okay, would you recommend using the Snowflake mirror in Fabric or connecting directly to it from Power BI? It depends. It depends. So first and foremost, everything you used to be able to do in Power BI, you can still do today. So if you want to just do direct query against Snowflake, you can do direct query against Snowflake. If you want to import from Snowflake, you can import from Snowflake. If you want to take advantage of Fabric features, you can do a mirror on Snowflake, and that will work. That'll get it in one lake, and then you can use Direct Lake on Power BI. So my question, I'm going to throw it back to you, Tom. What's your goal? What do you want to do with it?
Yeah.
You have options. It all works. Yeah. So they all work. So the question is yeah, I don't know. It's completely up to, that's a business decision, not a technical decision. I mean, it could be a technical decision in terms of like your requirements.
To convince them not to use, if you're trying to convince them not to use Snowflake,
do the mirror.
The mirroring over
do the mirror.
Will give you the Parquet files.
Yeah.
We'll give you the direct lake. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Well, that's an emotional reason to do it. So that's not a business decision or a technical thing. That's emotional. I don't want to use Snowflake.
Yeah, do it.
Now I will say, so that's the other thing too. Snowflake's and Iceberg. Well, you just shortcut to the Iceberg files too. So like that's an option. So yeah.
Yeah, but if you did the mirroring over, Tom, that would at least get you to test out the.
Alex brings up a good point too, though. Like if your goal is to leverage the security model defined in Snowflake, then you're going to go direct query. So that could be a problem. I mean, I get it, Tom. I get what you're doing, but it definitely depends. There's a lot of different options for you to leverage and work with Snowflake. So the other thing you could do too. So from Snowflake's perspective, you could change Snowflake to dump and store its Iceberg data in OneLake. Use OneLake as the data store, and then bam, there you go. Data's already there. Yeah. All right. Paul had a question. Let's see here. Can a default filter be saved in the Power BI service ribbon to always display workspace for a specific Fabric domain, limiting the need to reapply it? Guessing need to. So if you have a default set of items within a given report and you save that report, that's the default experience for all users. So if you want to change that, you have to change it in the report. Like
No.
What? That's what he's talking about.
Ribbon to always display workspaces for a specific domain. Workspaces for a specific domain.
Okay, we're not talking about.
So if I create a domain.
Yeah.
No.
Wait.
You just did a video on domains, man.
No, I know. Hang on. So, like, where do you want to? Like, where are you going to see this, Paul?
So go to workspaces.
Yeah.
Right, and you see domains at the top.
No, I see that there. Yeah.
Can I?
And so here I can filter by, we can do HR, right? And so then I see those. I don't see anything else. And so
but
now,
can I persist that? Now, Paul, keep me true. But can I persist that so whenever I come back, it just shows those workspaces?
Hang on. Oh, it should have persisted. It doesn't persist that. So go to ideas.fabric.microsoft.com. Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Ideas. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I would have thought it would have respected that, at least on the
Paul,
filter for the workspaces.
Adam, fly out. So what I do is I just pin my workspaces, Paul.
Yeah.
And so when I fly out there, I just pin the workspaces I want up at the top. So when you pin them, they'll just show up in that top section of when the bar
pin
flies
feature.
up.
That was like one of the greatest features ever.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I just pin them and it just holds them up there.
Yeah,
that's the ones I use.
And Paul, that's exactly what we do. Is we do for like when we're doing a session or a workshop or something. The only things I have pinned are the workspaces for that session, so I can just quickly go into those. Right. So I get what you're saying. But I would expect if you filtered this, it should be like it should respect that on the it should save state of that. That would be nice. Ideas. I think that's a great idea. So folders for workspaces. Yeah. Well, I mean, the domains are kind of like that. Like you can kind of use them like that. So, yeah. Okay. All right. And then, user 457. Thank you for the chat, super chat. I was going to actually get to the question anyway, but will we see Fabric premium per user this year? The better question would be, would we ever see it? I don't know. I know people are making noise about it. There's an idea item out there. There's nothing in the roadmap that I'm aware of. Also, it wouldn't be called PPU because that's premium per user. Premium's not a Fabric thing, so it'd be FPU. Fabric per user.
I don't think they would call it that.
I don't
think they would call it that.
But at this point, I mean, I don't.
No.
Yeah. So so I don't. I keep putting the feedback. If I remember correctly, because originally we didn't have PPU on the Power BI side, and if I remember correctly, the reason we got PPU was because of the feedback from the community, the continual feedback, and it took a long time to get it. And so some of it's gonna from a business perspective, and costing and things of those nature. Microsoft is a business, and so I don't have insights into all that stuff. So I don't know. Keep giving your feedback. Keep doing it. I understand the rationale for asking for it, but I don't know of anything. I know Alex was. There was a Twitter thread going on about it where Marco had it for development and learning for non-production workloads. So it's interesting why understanding the why of how that would help you. Why do you want that? And Alex did drop the idea item for Fabric per user. So definitely go vote that up if that resonates with you. So yeah. All right, Patrick, made it. Made it. What? Any closing words of wisdom?
Before that, are we doing a live stream next weekend?
We are doing a live stream next weekend.
All right. Somebody asked and you didn't.
Yeah. We are doing it
next week.
We're back. We're back.
We're back.
Yeah, we will be here.
See us next week.
It'll be great. Wait, did they put Q colon in front of that question?
No, they did not. They did not.
Fernando, you didn't do it. You didn't put a Q colon.
Yeah. We'll be back next week.
Closing words of wisdom. Anything.
Go get uncomfortable learning something. So we all know t-sql, we all know DAX, we all know Power Query. We've been doing Power BI. How long have we been talking about Power BI? We've been talking about Power BI for years now.
It's almost going on 10 years. I was talking about it before it was released.
Go do something.
Yeah.
Go do something different. Get uncomfortable. Go do something different. I will tell you, these past 3 weeks writing this Python code and trying to build out a whole process to get this data off of YouTube has really been uncomfortable. It's been frustrated. I've walked away from my desk angry at myself because I couldn't figure something out. But when I'm done, it's going to be I do. It's okay, right? It's fun. Go do it. Go get uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yes.
I can show you, Alex. I'll show you on Monday. Alex.
He's doing some cool stuff.
I'll show you.
Cool. It's gonna be cool.
I'll show you what I'm doing. Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
What?
I'm talking to Alex.
Don't talk to me. It's fine. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again. We are back. We'll see you next week and on the interwebs. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. All right. We'll see you.
Monster